So the game of innovation. Who's seen that game before? Yeah, we've got a few nods. Games of snakes and ladders. When do we think we first played this game? Come on, give me an age. 3, great. So the age of 3, we knew how to play, or we learnt how to play snakes and ladders. So from the age of 3, you've known how to innovate. Okay? Because innovation at the end of the day is about perseverance, about persistence. And so solving the problems we've got is not going to happen overnight, but in the same way that you play games of snakes and ladders and you end up going from top to bottom really fast, it's the same thing here. So let's have a bit of a look at this. And I love this board because it's got the skull and crossbones on there. You know, that's the real danger. Okay, it's got the piles of money, the bags of money, as well as the traditional snakes and ladders. So let's think about this from an innovation perspective. First of all, you get your seed funding. Now, however that is, you've got a new product idea. Maybe it's the manager comes in and gives you the actual money to budget to get that off on the road. Or maybe you're going bigger. Maybe you're talking to investors. Either way, it gets the game going. Okay, you can start to go with a little bit more confidence. And you persevere. In those early days, that money gets you a long way, but it still requires a lot of perseverance. Because things come up that get in the way. Regulation changes. And in this industry, that's going to be the thing that gets you more times than not, okay, is the regulation keeps changing. Now, you'll notice that comes up as a skull and crossbones here. So it hasn't sent you backwards because as an innovator, as a company that is really focusing on innovation, okay, it's about persevering through that. And so we keep going. And what happens? We get a ladder. Bang, up a couple of levels. Why? Because customers loved how we responded to that regulation. They heard our message and they loved the fact that we heard the message of the regulation. You know, while we can complain a lot about regulation, at the end of the day, it's not arbitrary. It is there for a purpose. It is there to move the minimum baseline of our economy forward and to ultimately create a better outcome. So those companies that respond positively to to regulation and innovate further, customers love it and you get your ladder. But problems can still happen, I guess, is what I want to say here. And you've got to keep persevering. So you get to right near the top. And what happens if your final testing fails? You slide all the way down the biggest snake on that ladder, on that board. Does that mean you stop? No. The interfloor journey began in 1994, seriously in this space. You know, it's 18 years on. Okay, we're not giving up. And that's really the crux to this whole issue. It's not just about being green and sustainable, it's about innovation and perseverance. And so just your final testing fails, you go all the way down to the bottom, but don't give up, okay? This game is won by those that persevere, that learn the lessons. And still you might have more problems, okay? A distribution partner falls out just at the end. You thought you were going to get to the number one or the 100th square, and you go backwards a little bit, and you've got to make new changes because your new partners have new requirements. Various things go wrong, but don't give up because at the end of the day, why are we all here? Let's be honest, we're here about those dollars as well. And that's what I want to leave you with this. The game of innovation is much like the game of snakes and ladders. Perseverance, persistence. But the key thing to know is that there are ways to minimise the impact of the snakes and there are ways to maximise the value or give yourself a better chance of getting the ladders.